And I believe Kip is going to have the doc live on the website. So if you go on the
Guys, yeah, listen, real quick, there's two ways to do this. One, if you just go to the Winston Cup page on the doc and you scroll all the way down, the qualifying doc's there, because that's where we keep it, because usually we only qualify Cup. Or if you scroll up in the active driver chat, there's a link you can click up in there from last Friday when we did this.
Yeah, so you guys can follow along. As we said, the top 5 times are in. Anger's first on board for Sega Keith Motorsports, so you get queued up, and whenever you're ready, Rita, I'm going to go ahead and start it.
Okay, if everyone can give me their thumbs up, please.
Everybody understands the instructions. As I said, you go out, come right back in, and then you got the one hot lap. We're glad to have you guys here. This is the 11th running of the Indianapolis 500 in the SCL. This is bump day. We have a
Once I've gone through the 16 in this room, I will ask all of you to leave, and we will get the other 4 in for qualifying.
We did not say bump was supposed to start at 5:30. We said 6 o'clock from day one. And we're a little behind because we have to organize this stuff, and it takes quite a bit of work to verify everything and line it up. That's the time that the entry party opens up. We always set it early so that the notification goes out before the actual call time. All right, you guys are ready to go. I'll be back, Rita. Good job, Anger. Good job. Great job. Before I... Yeah. Couple things before I hop in the booth, guys. Number one, let's try to keep the top 5 on the board in the room so that it shows up on the broadcast, makes it easier for everybody to see it in here. And number 2, what was I going to say? Times on the board there. Yeah, I forget what it is, Rita, but it was pretty important. But absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's what it is. Remind you guys, there are 11 qualified in, but those of you beyond 5, hang tight because you're the alternates in case any of those guys don't show up. So 6, 7, 8, you're all the alternate, going down. So be ready for that. If you don't make it, hang tight. All right, I'm going to go jump in the booth. Where is Daz? All right, I'm going to hop in the booth. Good luck to you guys. All right, going to be talking from the booth here now, using this as the broadcast booth. We've seen the first 3 runs here of the SCL Season 23 Indianapolis 500 bump day. We've got 11 cars already set in the field with Season 21 500 champion DW McFreak from FST Blue Flag Racing sitting on the pole so far. And coming out now is Daz from Team Danamore, winners in the very first Indianapolis 500 under Kip's Haul and Ass. Daz yet to win in the IndyCar Series, but well overdue. He's a heck of a driver from the UK. Now racing on my former team and the most decorated team in SCL history, Team Danamore. He's in number 10. Dallara Chevy. He's going to take the line here for his hot lap. As you can see, he's going to be the 4th time on the board. Joey with a fantastic run for Wacky Racers at 40.351, has the fastest time on the board right now. That's pulling 231, 232 on his own. That's a good speed. Last corner. .361, a good time for Daz, 2nd fastest on the board, and puts him in what looks to be a pretty comfortable position, but with 17 bump day qualifiers and only 5 getting through, that's by no means a guarantee. Somebody rolling back out. Who's hitting the track now? Is that Muttley? I believe it is. Nope. That is official from Zenith Motorsports in the number 7 Doom Honda. Driver in his 2nd season here in the SCL. He said, those of you new watching, this is the Season 23 Indianapolis 500, which will be immediately following this bump day qualifier. This is the 11th time we've run this. The very first SCL Indianapolis 500 was won by Kip's Haul and Ass for Team Danamore. That was his first career IndyCar Series win of what is so far a record 18, just ahead of yours truly, Carlin Hicks, on the all-time list. As the official's going to take the green flag. That was Season 13. It was July the 24th, 2014. So just almost 4 years ago was the very first one in Season 13. This is the 11th one in the 10 that we have run. There's been 9 different winners. Some great finishes. The only two-time winner is, once again, yours truly, Carlin Hicks. Season 14 and 15, I was fortunate enough to get those. But we've had some crazy finishes as he comes off a turn 4 looking to put his time down. We've had some crazy finishes over the years. Mortal Gooch won it in season 16, sliding backwards across the line. Has official post of 41.523, and I do not think that's going to get the job done. He's a good second off the pace. Could be the setup. Seems like it to me. Possibly a bad setup there on his wheel, but I don't think that time's going to stand. Tough luck for official. But we'll have to wait and see as he's sitting at 41.523. As I said, we've seen a bunch of crazy finishes. Gooch winning it, sliding across the line. I won my first one over Kipps by literally 1/1000th of a second. We'll have to post that photo sometime on the SCL community feed, let you guys see that 1/1000th of a second victory. We've seen, oh Lord, we've seen some crazy finishes here. Last season, Tiernizzle won it, and he probably holds the record for he was the first zombie that ever won the Indy 500 because he had 3 or 4 spectacular wrecks in that race and came back from the dead to pull it off. So we've seen plenty of that. Well, now we're going to see Chunky Beef out here in the number 27 Snapple Honda for the Independents. Chunky Beef is a longtime SCL veteran, probably made his debut, I would say, back in maybe season 14, long time ago. He's never been a full-time competitor. He's competed part-time for the most part, but he's looking to get himself into the field. He's run in the Indianapolis 500 a couple times before, many seasons past. It's been at least 4 or 5 seasons as he takes the flag for his green flag lap. Hard to tell what's putting the people in the 41s here. I think maybe it might be on the wrong setup. You want to be on the oval setup, loose or stable. I don't think it's the tires. We're all on the same tires. Could be gearing. Gearing's a big thing here. You want to be holding in the right gear, especially when you're running on your own and you're not getting the draft. As here comes Chunky Beef off the corner. Time to put him on the bubble would be 41.523. And he clears a 40.817. That is going to bump official off the bubble. It's going to put Chunky into the 5th spot, but 817 is going to be a time that going to be tough to make the field with that. With 17 cars trying to bump their way in, I don't know that that's going to stand, but he's going to sit on the bubble for now. As we've had 6 names go through of the 17, moving right along. I believe that would be our own O'Brien. Yes, O'Brien from JME Motorsports. Only a part-time competitor in the IndyCar Series, a full-time runner in the GTE class in Camel GT. He was runner-up for Camel GT Rookie of the Year 2 seasons ago in season 21. And had a podium finish last week at Long Beach in the GTE class. So he has definitely shown that he can pull a wheel, and more of a road racer, but he's out there in the JME Menards 22 car looking to push his way into the field. As he comes off of turn 4. Brian, we signed him up this season, shows a lot of promise. That's why we have him on here. He's a veteran driver of sim racing as he takes the green flag. Came into the SCL in season 21 as a Camel GT driver, has made some races in the other series, but he's primarily a sports car racer. But he's shown some promise, particularly on Thursday Night Thunder, considering he doesn't have a ton of speedway experience in the Thursday Night Thunders, the support series stock car races, and he's looked really, really good in those for the most part. Goes a little high in turn 3. He's not quite pinching it down quite enough, and he's given himself a long track, I think. 40.8 40.41. That is going to not put him on the field. He's going to be in 6th right now. He was running a very wide line there, I think, and going to be disappointed with that lap time. Put up a decent run, but in this competitive of a field to get into the 500 here on bump day, it's going to be very difficult for him. As of right now, he's sitting as the first alternate. All right. I believe, yep, we've got us Devil Dog, MDR Devil Dog, longtime SCL veteran, co-owner of FST Blue Flag Racing, former Winston West Series champion in the support stock cars. Has plenty of IndyCar experience, well over, I believe, 45 career IndyCar starts, but mostly in the GT6 era. He's still getting his legs under him here in the new equipment. So I believe MDR himself believes he's a long shot here in qualifying, but let's see. The veteran has pulled out some surprising performances in the past, and we'll see if he's got it here. As you can see, the line down the straightaway has been different from people, but I think you definitely got to get down on the apex in the corners to get that fast lap time. Well, Brian had a good run, but I think the line that he ran added a couple of tenths there to him. These guys are trying to keep the car a little too high in the groove. But the main thing about this track is, you got to start the turn earlier than you think in these kind of cars, despite how responsive they are, if you really want to pinch the apex. Devil comes off the corner. Let's see what he has here at the Yard of Bricks. 40.991 puts him 7th, 6th on that board. It's going to have him outside that top 5, however, as Chunky is hanging on the bubble spot. I believe that puts Devil in the 2nd alternate position as of right now, but gave it a good run, broke the 41 barrier, which he was not doing in practice, and doesn't look too bad there, but not enough to bump him onto the field. All right. And there is Tiernizzle, the defending Indianapolis 500 champion. Defending Camel GT Series champion as well. Took the Indianapolis 500, has 4 career wins in the IndyCar Series. And would love to become the 2nd 2-time winner in SCL history, but he's got to bump his way into the field first in the 98 Napa Auto Parts Honda for Base Motorsports. He won it last season on the roster of sister team Benson Speed Equipment, but now he's running on base, and he's going to take the flag here. As you can see, low in the corner, right in the groove, out to the wall. That's the key. It's about a car width. It's going to give him quite a bit more speed. Nice and low in the corner. Ahead of the cut, looks like a good lap as expected, and a 40.308 puts him at the top of the board. It's going to bump Chunky officially out and put Anger Management with the 40.507 on the bubble. So as of right now, Tiernizzle, Joey, Daz, It's PT, and Anger Management are on the bubble. Right. So Anger's 40.507 is the hang-on time right now. try to bump his way into the field, and we're going to have to see who we've got next here on the board. And it is going to be Cat Guy, longtime veteran. I'll be back with you guys shortly. with you on the broadcast. Bear and a surprising 40.821, the defending Le Mans champion. We were thinking would have definitely Le Mans overall winner for season 22, but a tough run for him, 40.821. As of right now, anger management still on the bubble with the 40.507 as Wacky Racers Muttley. His teammate Joey looking at a safe spot, sitting on that 351. And now Muttley's going to take his crack. Muttley, the team owner of Wacky Racers, Australian driver. Great Aussie contingent in the SCL these days. We've had it for a long time. We've had a lot of drivers internationally, obviously, over the years. Even, obviously, our board of officials has international drivers. But these days, more so than ever, we have just a wealth of Aussie, New Zealanders, Brits. Makes it, a few Central Europeans, Germans. This makes the competition a really worldwide league. But Muttley with a 41.578, not going to get it through. Not using the stability control, I'd have to say that would be the main reason right there. In his case, would have taken half a second at least off just having that on there. But tough run for Muttley. Maybe we can have him in the booth tonight if you're watching Muttley. Be awesome if we could get somebody to work the broadcast here. As a matter of fact, let me see if we get anybody interested in working the booth. You hear, Devil? MDI Devil Dog. Hey, Muttley.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't have the stability control on there.
I just like running without it.
I got you.
I just like feeling as I did out of the pits, the back end stepping out a bit, so I can, sort of put more into it or put less out of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's the way I like it.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Well, we're on the air now, but I was asking if we got anybody sitting around if they want to work the booth during the race.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Devil, you got any interest?
Yeah, man, I'll get up there and have a go.
All right, I think Muttley.
I don't know it's going to be completely light, but
No, but you know how to work the camera, don't you, Muttley?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Then you can work.
We'll put you.
We'll put you in the. We'll put you in the director seat, and we'll just put Devil in the other one, the broadcaster seat.
Cool.
And then you'll be working out of the room here, so you'll be on party chat.
I tried what Napoleon said to do with the one of the settings on the controller. I have to test it out a bit more to see if it actually did make a difference. I sort of tried it, and I think I've got to find something to fiddle with, because it's just, as you say, I'm twisting it too quick as I'm steering into the corner. But I like the car to be pointy.
Oh yeah, I understand. I'm having the same problem. I'm having the exact same issue on in Camel GT and in IndyCar on the road courses. The difference that I'm having between, and it's a problem that for me is the switch over in software from running on the old software, is that the guys who are going who are putting up the really fast times when you ride on their onboard, they're using a lot of wheel input. And I mean, they're going opposite lock a lot. I'm not used to doing that. I'm used to going 90 degrees at the most and having that kind of wheel. And I'm learning now that I have to start adjusting, because they're getting more precision that way, and which is a bigger deal on this game engine than it was on GT6. And so I think that what the biggest thing that I'm seeing, and I'm sure there's guys watching right now who will probably know what I'm talking about, but the biggest thing I'm seeing on the speedways, and we're talking Winston Cup, IndyCar, whatever, is that the hardest thing to learn is that you have to start the turns way earlier than it seems. You know, it just seems like you can drive it in deep and cut it and have no problem. But the reality is, and Devil Dog can attest to this from the days of trying to take turn 3 at Motegi Superspeedway, is that you have to start that turn 150 yards out. You know, you really have to start doing it, and until you figure that out, you're not going to put up fast times on a speedway like that, because you have to get through the apex and accelerate out. It's something that takes a lot of practice, and we've seen it so far in qualifying. I've seen 2 or 3 cars that I expected to put up times that would put them in the field, and I watched them do that, make that mistake on their lap here, and so that just becomes one of the things. But I think with you, I think with you, Muttley, you have a technical issue as well. You're still hunting, just like some of us, just like I am in other cars. You're still hunting for that elusive speedway wheel setting or whatever that's going to make you feel comfortable, that's going to give you the responsiveness you want while also taking out what's causing the mistakes. And when you hit that sweet spot, you'll be instantly faster.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, you know, just compared to, you know, with my track cars, the controller's perfect. You know, I don't have to do too much to it, because you don't have to constantly turn the wheel so much on a track car compared to an oval car. On an oval car, you seem to be turning it a lot more, because the corners are a lot longer and stuff. So I definitely have to play with the settings a bit and just find a comfortable margin for the oval cars, which I haven't sort of really planned on looking at, you know, this far, and I definitely now have to work on it to get me up to the faster guys up front. I mean, Texas and at Daytona, it doesn't really matter because of shorter tracks, but Indy definitely need to look at the control settings for that, because you need to make it not so flippy at the front. And yeah, with that, it's slowing me down. So I just got to find a little nicer setting for that. And I think I found what I want to play with, and I just got to play with it now. So
I do know we've been saying for years, and Devil Dog's heard us say this for a long time. We've said this for years at Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a technical circuit. People don't believe it until they drive it, but it really is. I mean, it's got very difficult corners, and you know, to get right. And that's the thing that, like, the joke used to be when, you know, the international drivers started coming over a lot in the 80s. You know, Emerson Fittipaldi used to take it upon himself to take him aside and be like, this is not 4 left-hand turns. You know, he'd be like, you got to be, you know, if you think that this is easy, you're going to get hurt. Like, not hurt like you're going to suck, but you're going to get hurt like you're going to wreck really bad. You know, it's one of those type of places that you just have to take the corner the right way. And as right now, it looks like we've got Roland out there. He's running in the number 9 Chevy Target car. I believe that's a Team Danamore car. Roland runs for Regulator Racing. He might be leasing that one out for qualifying. Teammates with OGR Cat Guy. Roland, a long time SCL veteran. Won a Grand National Division Championship in the support stock cars. Has run in the Indianapolis 500 before, and Daytona 500, all that. He's a long-time vet, just making his return to the software, and I believe he's green out on the track now. Running a pretty good line. He's a little high in the groove. 507 is that cutoff, though. Anger management from Sega Keith Motorsports is sitting on that bubble with a 40.507. Let's see how his turn 3 is here. Very good corner. Very good corner coming out. Roland's going to take an inside line. Let's see what he's got here. Does he have a 507? No, 6.41, a very, very good performance, especially considering his limited track time in these cars. But going to come up just short. And as of right now, anger management breathes a sigh of relief. That looked like like a good looked like a good lap time to me. I mean, he was in the groove. Roland, as I said, Roland, as I said, he's a veteran. He's won Winston Cup races. I don't think he's won an IndyCar race. He's not really he's mostly been a stock car driver. But he has run in this series in the past, and that looked like a good lap to me.
Looks like if you held it tighter to that line, you might have got a couple of tenths more out of it. Like you were telling me in practice, get down onto that inside line, running the tyre basically right on that white line. I think he would have got those tenths he was looking for.
I believe so too. And here we got M. Staza, another longtime SCL veteran, another Aussie driver for FST Blue Flag Racing. He is just recently took the Long Beach? He won in the GTE class. That was his third career win in the Camel GT Series. He's run in the Indy 500 before. He's qualified on the front row, in fact, I believe. But he's going to have to bump his way in with a 5.07 or better there in the number 19 Dallara Honda for FST Blue Flag as he takes the line here. Stah's longtime vet, probably about his 8th or 9th season in SCL. Been mostly a part-time driver, but he made a run for the championship last season, finished 3rd in the Camel GT Series, and is definitely one of the top contenders in the GTE class this season, especially after that win at Long Beach. But still early goings here in season 23 as Stah's comes a little high. Got a good groove coming off of 4. Let's see if he can put it in the bank. A 5.07 is the number he needs. And he's not quite there. 5.54. Very, very good lap time. Going to put him high on the alternate list, but you don't want to get on the alternate list. Anger management, the first runner of the day, is hanging on with that 5.07.
Yeah,
We're
I
near.
think they're being a bit conservative, not taking that white line to the, holding it down to the white line. I think they're just going, staying a bit high, like car length wide and what they should be.
I believe it's what we were just talking about. Go ahead, Devil.
Yeah.
I thought I ran a pretty good line, but I stuffed up my warm-up lap and I only hit the start-finish line. I was, 10 Ks under when I went across the start-finish line to start my lap.
Yeah, I thought you looked pretty good. You looked good on the track. There's a couple of guys that have looked good on the track. You might have been a little up into the midline a little too much, but it wasn't a bad lap.
Warm-up lap.
Let me put it this way: if you had run like that in the time trials, you might have got in through the time trials.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You wouldn't have been in here in the first place. Yeah, that's how it goes. All right, we're waiting. I don't know if we got another call coming. We got a couple more names here. A lot of big names that are not in right now. Cat Guy, Stas, Napoleon, Roland, MDR Devil Dog, Muttley. But you guys will benefit from that because we're going to try to get them in the booth, provided we can get the broadcast room up and rolling. I think they're working on Sealizer and Grandpa Bubby.
Put in the Aussie perspective, it's not as easy as driving around circles as we believe.
No, not at all. That's
It's not a circle, man. There's 4 different corners.
It's a rectangle, yeah.
They're four totally different corners. Not one corner is the same as the other.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. This has been a long-time habit, and Devil can back me up on this. Over the years in the SCL, we would get a new driver in who was running maybe sports cars, like he was running Camel GT, and he'd run some Camel GT races, and one of those, hot foots, getting on the podium real quick, puts up good lap times. So being in the league, he decides to come in. You know, we tell them, hey, you should come out for the IndyCar race or the Winston Cup race or whatever, and they finally come out. You know, after they put it off for a while, I don't really run ovals. That's not challenging enough for me. And we get them out on the track, and we would leave them in the dust. When we got, I mean, these are the guys that were finishing 3 and 4 laps down at Motegi to us, and they would go, "What is going on?" And we would just say, you know, it's how you drive the track. It's a totally different race once you're in traffic than it is when you're out here warming up, you know. And the way the race plays out, and how you time your pit stops, and how you make your pit stops, and how you play the traffic is the key ingredient. And until you figure that out, you're not going to be successful on the speedways. We've seen guys, you know, run 1 or 2 races in IndyCar Winston Cup and then quit those in disgust because they couldn't understand why they were always a contender on the road courses but not on the speedways. And we would just say it's the same reason why there's oval guys who are 2 seconds off pace when they hit the road courses, because it's a totally separate discipline and requires, you know, a totally different style of driving in order to be successful at it. And that's why, me personally, I'm such a fan of the IndyCar Series in motorsports in general, but especially in the SCL. The IndyCar Series is every type of track. You know, Formula One runs one kind of track. NASCAR runs mainly one kind of track. Sports cars, Le Mans drivers run one kind of track. But IndyCar drivers, to win a championship, you have to be good at every kind of track that a driver races at. And that's why, to me, in my own fanboy opinion, an IndyCar Series championship, to me, would mean the most. But I believe we're all done with qualifying.
I think, you know, Will Power's going to give it a best shot he can. He did pretty well at Indy, and then on top of that, boy Ricciardo did pretty well in Formula 1 at Monaco.
Yeah, it's awesome. We're going to, all right, looks like we've got our field in there. Tiernizzle, Joey, Daz, It's PT, and Anger. OGR, Staza, and Napoleon. There are our first, second, and third alternates, I believe. But we're going to try to get the next broadcast up. Muttley and Devil Dog are going to be in the booth for you, or we're going to attempt them to. So make sure you follow us along on the SCL Racing Network. I'm going to sign off here, and we'll catch up with you shortly.